We're here live on Comet Vision postgame report. Penn Manor Comet's victorious over the Warwick Warriors by a score of 34-20, and we're standing here talking live with Todd Mealy, head coach of the Penn Manor High School Comet's football team. And before we get to your team's performance tonight, let's talk a little bit about one of your standouts, wide receiver Daulton Parmer. He had another fantastic game tonight. 8 catches, 103 yards, 1 touchdown on defense. He had 2 interceptions. Mixed in amongst the 8 catches, his second catch broke the all-time receptions record for Penn Manor, which was 68. He's now upped it to 75. Before he's done next year, he might have 100 and some balls.
Yeah, sure.
What does Dautlon mean to the Penn Manor program right now?
Well, first it's been such a joy to coach Dautlon. He's really kind of like the type of player that we want to represent our program. He works very hard. He's very committed and invested. He does a lot for us. He doesn't come off the field really, which means he plays offense, defense, and special teams. He plays almost all of our special teams. We put a player like that on the field because we know how much that winning football games means to him. He's good for us and for our younger players to see someone like that, someone that has the numbers, but yet he has the drive, and then also he has the passion for our team itself to be good, and win football games and be competitive, ultimately drive us to our ultimate goal, which is to win a section title someday. We're hoping that Daulton's part of that. Individually, I think he's best as a possession receiver right now. He moves sticks for us. He's consistent in doing that. He always has been. And then defensively, he's done a nice job keeping receivers in front of him, and then also forcing turnovers, getting takeaways for us. And because of that, he's been able to play good defense. He's helped us offensively too by giving up short fields and good scoring opportunities.
It almost sounds like his hard work ethic and his passion for the game is just trickling down to the rest of the players on the team.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that everyone sees it. He's a good student. He comes from a good family. He's a good overall person. And on top of that, he's successful at sports. And that rubs off on a lot of people. Within the team, people in the community, people in school, his peers see it, his teachers see it. There's not really anyone you talk to where you even hear a whisper of something negative about it. And that's why I say that he's good to represent Penn Manor football, because with how much that we preach academics and discipline and learning about life, he seems to kind of grab on all of that and try to live his life from the lessons that we teach him. Daulton's also fortunate because he's had some good coaches. Daryl Daniel has coached him 2 years. This year we have Coach Shirk with him. Bill Shirk coaching him now. It's he's been fortunate that way, and he continues to work hard. He wants to get better. He really doesn't have bad practices. That kind of drive and passion, has helped this program, get to the point where it is right now. Yeah.
Speaking of the program, this season, Penn Manor really wasn't picked to be near the top, and right now you're not really near the top in the section, but you're having a successful season. I believe you're at 5-3 right now, and you're sitting on the cusp of qualifying for the playoffs once again. You got 2 big games coming up, one against Wilson and one against Cedar Crest. Talk about what you're thinking these last 2 games, trying to get at least 1 victory and maybe get into the playoffs.
Well, when the season started, people ask me how good you're going to be. It could be a colleague of mine, it could be someone on the street, it could be the media. They've asked me how good is Penn Manor football going to be this year, and I really didn't have an answer for them. Last year I kind of told them, I said, if we win 5 games, it may be one of the better coaching jobs that we did. I had a sense, the year before I had a sense that we'd really compete for a section championship. This year I really didn't have a feel. Meaning we either could have been really good, really bad, or in the middle. There was a middle road for us.
How do you feel now?
Well, how do I feel? In a way, frustrated, because we let a couple games get away from us. But maybe we just weren't ready to win those games. But it burns, and I know it affects the players too. But nonetheless, We are trying to remain consistent as a program. Since 2008, or I should say prior to 2008, Penn Manor hadn't had a 5-win season, or a winning season, I should say, since 1994. Since 2008, we've made the playoffs 3 straight years, finished in the top 2 of Section 1, and had winning records in Section 1. That's something Penn Manor never had before 2008. So we're trying to reach those now. The section championship is out of grasp at this point. So right now that's our focus. This program should remain consistent by having a winning record in the section, by making playoffs. And that's good for what we've built. The program we've built in the last 4 years. This group of 10 seniors have been a part of all that. The person you brought up, Daulton, played a big hand in that too.
Well, it sounds like you got things going in the right direction ever since you've come aboard. Penn Manor's football has taken off. There was
I appreciate the comment.
Yeah, there's probably a good, somewhat of a good foundation was in place when you came in, but I think you just elevated it, took it to the next level, and you've been able to maintain consistency during your time. And I'm sure a lot credit goes to you as well as to the athletic director and all the great coaches that you've dealt with. So. I think, is it safe to say that you feel proud of what you've done here?
Yeah, we're all proud. I'm proud. It's a joy to coach these kids, but I know that we've hired some good coaches. Now we've lost coaches every year, but that's a risk you take when you hire guys as potential head coaches.
But that you should feel good about that.
Well, I do.
In the sense that your guys are being picked apart by other teams.
And that was the decision that I made when I tried to put together a staff, because I felt things were pretty urgent for us. We had to win games. So there's 2 ways you can think of it. You can get coaches on the staff that are potential head coaches, or normally what you look for coaches that are going to be around for a long time. But I think because of the urgency of the need for Penn Manor to start winning football games, we tried to get the best we could. But what has really helped us in the case of losing coaches has been the kids and their families. We're fortunate that we have a lot of our players are very good academic kids, and they come from good homes. And their parents are just as passionate about Penn Manor football as they are. So that's really come a long way for us.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time to talk to us here, and we wish you the best of luck next week. A tough task against Wilson, but I'm sure Penn Manor, as they've always done under your reign, they're going to go out and give it their best.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.